Oh dear. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad to have you join us. We want to thank you first and foremost for taking the time to learn about NBCC and our programs. We're so excited to share with you today and get you to join us in your learning journey and join thousands of other graduates from your hometown, either here in the Miramichi or Brunswick, all of the provinces and territories in Canada, and even throughout the world. Diversity is who we are. I'm Lisa Vanderbeck. I'm one of the instructors in the programs we're going to be discussing today. And you can see Evelyn Gillis, who's also with me, and she is our coordinating instructor. And thank you. Thank you. And hopefully we're going to answer some of your questions that you have about our programs.
Hi, guys. Like Lisa, I'm really excited to talk about our programs. We've been around for a long time. Corrections, roughly 40 years, and police foundations, around 15. So we have a lot of experience, a wealth of educated persons that come through our programs who are now in the fields that hopefully you'll meet, either as an employer or a partner in some of the joint projects that we work on. So we're part of a larger school as opposed to just a campus. We're now recognized as School of Arts, Community Protective Services. So Criminal Justice Foundation and Criminal Justice Corrections. And they are both involved with enforcement. We do share some similar, but we're distinct as well.
So our programs are located here in the Miramichi campus, and the is located on the banks of the beautiful and world famous Miramichi River. We might be a little biased with that, of course. And the NBCC campus is, of course, located in one of the most beautiful communities in our province. We're world renowned for outdoor destinations, fishing, hunting, but even more than that, I think the number one thing about the Miramichi and the Miramichi campus is how we are a welcoming community. And we only want to support and help you be successful. There's restaurants, there's grocery stores, there's shopping, and many different places of worship. So we really look at our heritage and the culture resources within the Miramichi, within our Miramichi campus and communities as key. Our diverse population and our diverse population of students. So I think you would have really enjoyed yourself. Now,
you go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, so we're very fortunate to work with many, many wonderful people. And these are just a few of the wonderful people who are actively involved in making our programs and a success and our students successful. And so Karen White O'Connell is our Dean of School of Arts, Community and Protective Services. Tammy Scott is actually our academic chair for the department. So within that protective services structure that Evelyn had just talked about, our main supervisor is Tammy, and she will be the lead for that. And then, of course, our administrative assistant, who we can't do without, is Shelley Van Busker. And Shelley's email is listed there in case you want to get in contact with her, Tammy, Karen, or any one of the faculty. So just a reminder that NBCC is the place to be right now.
It is true. And we are doing a lot of movement and a lot of development with our two programs. In protective services, we have some really interesting, innovative, and very timely pieces of equipment that we have to offer to develop your skills, practical skills learning. and it improves our partnership with the community. So it puts you again in line with what's going on, in protective services right now, and it will prepare you also. So the other folks that are pivotal to your learning are the list of faculty. Lisa's already referred to me as a coordinating instructor, and I sort of help with your academic development and your plans, and I liaison with our manager and with the instructors to make sure you have the most best possible. So we don't want you to feel like you come to our campus, another person, and you kind of figure things out on your own. We're here to support you and to help you have individual learning needs. If you have special considerations when it comes to your academics, we'll work with you and assist you. Lisa Vanderbeck, who you've already met, is a very good academic consultant for you. And we put the email addresses up so that you have a resource that if you want to follow up after watching this video and you have some specific questions about the program or any piece of the academics, you can reach out to any one of us. Lisa Vanderbeck, as I said, is a very good academic consultant that you can work with to ask about your academics. Maybe you've already, taken courses that you're wondering, what do I do about that? You can field those questions. Shannon Daly is our fitness instructor. So we do have a fitness component. If you are not fit yet, you can work on that, and you have 2 years. So we don't want you to feel like you have to be in top physical condition, but maybe you might want to start walking a little bit or something as you're preparing to come. But we'll help you with that. But Shannon Daly can certainly answer any of your fitness questions. Sandra Henderson is the correctional instructor, correctional techniques instructor. So if you have specific questions regarding corrections or employment, what have you, you can direct them to her. And Jonathan Mears is a former OPP officer who is working in the Police Foundations program, and he'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about policing, either provincially or nationally.
So what are you going to be learning, and what can you expect from criminal justice corrections or criminal justice policing? Well, there's some commonalities there because we're within the same department per se and school. So both programs are 80-week programs, so 2 years. And the main thing that we try to focus on when you're a student here is to try to help you gain the insight you need, the learning you need, experience, hands-on skills, and so many other transferable skills that you bring with you. We hope to enhance that, but we're also hoping to teach you and have you learn and become a professional within the criminal justice field, whether that's policing or corrections. Both fields are exemplary fields to be in. And with those, we focus in, like anything else, you need to know some of the theory and some of the background, some of those basic skills and terminology, concepts, ideologies for the criminal justice field so that we can build on those through practical skills. And we do that in many different ways. So we focus on academics, yes. We focus on some practical, but we also focus on mental and emotional wellness and self-awareness, self-care, being able to actually look after yourself so that you can do what you need to do with the public, with incarcerated individuals, with youth and families that become in conflict with the law as we go through. So you're going to take courses such as psychology, sociology, diversity and sensitivity, special topics in mental health, and those are just a few. You're also going to be doing practical, hands-on, and some of those courses Evelyn mentioned earlier about fitness. Within that, you're going to be looking at, getting your cardio up, your runs. You're going to practice doing some of the provincial and federal tests, physical fitness tests that you'd need to gain employment. There's critical thinking.
Mm. Yes.
Once you work on those critical thinking skills and problem solving skills, because that's decision making is key as you go through this field. You have to make decisions about people, about situations, about incidents, and to de-escalate, which brings me to interpersonal behavior and interpersonal communication skills. You'll take courses in that. We focus in both. It doesn't matter if you're in a course that focuses in on theory or on practical. Teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork is key. And you'll see your instructors and our academic chair and our dean. We work as a team, and we want to be role models and leaders so that you and your groups will also work as teams. That's key in obtaining employment and becoming a professional within that criminal justice.
That's for sure. The work, just to piggyback on what you're saying, Lisa, the work integrated learning is exactly what it says. So you do these great courses, they're dynamic, you're in the gym, you're doing some tactical training, you're learning how to communicate, and to help you integrate that into all of that, all of those concepts together, we like to have you have some practical experience.
Yes.
And that can look all kinds of different ways. Sometimes we partner you with industry, and it could be volunteerism, or we could simulate a situation where you have to use critical thinking skills to problem solve with some of your teammates. So work learning can take on very diverse applications. And when you come here, we work with you as a class, we work with you as teams to be able to facilitate that. So how are these courses delivered? We have what we call a blended delivery model, which is sort of the best of both worlds. So you will be doing some work online, taking online, but also the availability of being on campus doing some practical skills development. Because we recognize, and so do the whole team that's involved with protective services, that we are a hands-on program. So that's an essential component. So we follow the 717 model. So 7 stands for 7 weeks. So some courses have been divided into a shorter delivery. So you may take, for instance, interpersonal for 7 weeks. And maybe 2 or 3 other courses in your first semester, for example. And that course will start and finish in 7 weeks. Then there's built in a student success week that gives you an opportunity. I know, for instance, we have some students that are taking CPR training that are doing some of their own online course development. So that is recognized as a week that's good for you to be working on things that are going to benefit you. And then the last 7 weeks, again, different courses will be rotated in. So, it probably sounds like, oh, well, I'm taking all these courses really fast. And it's actually the opposite. It's in your best interest. As opposed to taking 10 courses all at once, we've broken them up so that it's easier for you to have success. And to integrate everything you're learning so that it's not moving so fast that you're, not able to completely absorb it. So it's really a very beneficial approach for you folks.
Definitely.
Lisa, did you want to touch on tours?
Sure. We again are very fortunate to have the partnerships in industry that we do. as Evelyn mentioned earlier, with the corrections program and the police program, we've been around for a little while, and industry recognizes our programs, our graduates, and they incorporate their daily operations and activities in our programs. And they do so by being guest speakers, by allowing us to tour their facilities and their agencies. They allow us to partnership with them to do programs, to volunteer, to work with some of their clients. That's part of that work integrated learning that Evelyn has mentioned. And with that, those industry partners that we go for tours, and those tours could be anywhere from Atlantic Institution to Miramichi Youth Center to Dalhousie Provincial Jail. Like when we look at, and again, those are some of the partners in corrections. We could be looking at Miramichi Police Force. They're very, very good to us. They come in all the time. They open their doors to our students for extra projects and that type of thing. We have the Sheriff's Services, Miramichi Law Courts here in the Miramichi. However, every law court in New Brunswick opens our doors to our students and to our graduates. And we have in all of these agencies and more, and which we'll talk about in a little bit, graduates that are employed there, who are supervisors there, who are managers, or even executives as they go. So we're very fortunate.
It's kind of cool that
Mm-hmm.
we actually now are calling former graduates who are supervisors who will be working with us to set up tours, and which is kind of neat. So, you know, the alumni, we're still part of the community.
Yes.
They still work with us, and love it. Love our students too.
Yes, because they've been here and they know how valuable the programs are, the learning is, and it's actually achieved their goals for them. Their work and their learning actually got them to where they are today. Yeah. And we're very proud of our graduates, as you can tell.
Yes. Yeah.
So our programs are now referred to as live programs. So what this means is every student that is accepted and enrolled in the criminal justice corrections or the criminal justice policing programs are required to have a computer. And that computer, because we do have virtual classes and online, both supplementary and courses, supplementary work and courses, it's required for every student in our programs to have a laptop or a computer. And with that being said, if you can go to the website that's listed on the slide under program technology requirements, and that'll give you the minimum specifications required that you need as a student in one of our programs. Okay, it's important for you to know that up front. Student loans know, all of our funding partners know about that we have gone to a live program, and all of our students need computers. So that would be accounted for or within the cost sheets and cost information for our programs. Do you want to talk about prior learning, Evelyn?
Sure. Prior learning recognition is, and you'll see there's the link, or the website is there where you can go and get the specific details and find the application. But if you've had other courses, even if they're linked to a completed degree or diploma, if you have courses that you think would qualify for credit with us, you can make out an application. NBCC does recognize your prior learning experiences from other institutions, and each application is looked at individually. So I encourage you to do that. If you think you may have a course that, if you look at the list of courses on the website that pertain to corrections and police foundations, and you think you might, certainly make that application. It's worth your time.
So we have some university and college partnerships also.
Yes.
Do you want to mention those, Evelyn?
Sure.
Okay.
There's St. Thomas University. It's been a longstanding partner of ours. So what does that mean? We have an agreement with them, an articulated agreement, which means that you can graduate from criminal justice corrections, criminal justice police foundations, and apply to St. Thomas, meeting their minimum requirements also. But you can, upon graduation, be accepted into your third year of the applied bachelor's program in criminology. We have a lot of students that have gone that route. And I find it particularly interesting. Sometimes people come to us, maybe they haven't had a great, academic experience in their public school, in high school, or what have you, come to us, find that they do super well, and start warming up to the idea of continuing on with education, which is, a win for us. It's fantastic. So, right now you may be thinking, well, I'll never be doing that, but you don't know. After a couple of years, you may want to pursue that idea. So that's why we talk about it, just to put it out there for you. Also, we recently signed an agreement with Humber College in Ontario, and that's still growing, that agreement, but very similarly, you can move into their bachelor program, Bachelor of Arts program. And we also have UBC, University of, CB, Cape Breton, I'm sorry. Very similarly for the bachelor's program, and the Atlantic Police Academy. We have an agreement with them that if you meet the minimum requirements, they will hold a seat for you. You still have to, if you go to their website, Atlantic Police Academy at Holland College, and become familiar with what their criteria are for taking their police science program to become a police officer. If you meet those requirements, they will honor your seat. So you're not competing with, 300 applicants for a seat. You'll be guaranteed a seat.
That's right.
That's just some of our.
Yes, and there's many, many more, right?
Yes. Yep.
So the next thing that we'll talk about is professional, ethical, and classroom deportment. So within the criminal justice system in the field, there's a certain expectation of professionalism, ethics, and behavior overall, right? And so what we try to do here at NBCC within our programs is not wait until a person graduates, and not wait until that individual might be shy, they might be like their self-confidence may not be where it should be, and that type of thing. We start working on those professional, ethical, and behavioral deportments on day one. We begin in the classroom. So even though you might not see professional deportment or ethical deportment or behavior within your course outlines on a piece of paper, we start that training for all of our students on day one because of the expectations that every person within the criminal justice field has just from being a part of or influenced through that field. So when we look at that deportment piece, we're also looking at how we work as a team, how we're all adults and we all are creating a respectful environment for every student to learn. And this professional deportment is also expected to be adhered to whether they're on campus or off campus. So we start that transition into this new life, new field, new journey on day one. Now, with that being said, it leads into my next. So part of that change in a person's thinking and their department is uniforms. So our students they are required to wear uniforms. And we have some pictures that we're going to show you a little later. And you'll see actually right there on that slide, you can see some of our students in uniform. We do wear uniforms. We wear them a couple of times a week. We make sure we wear them anytime we have guest speakers, anytime we're going on a tour, anytime we are in the community with the public, doing volunteerism, any type of partnerships that we have. So what we're trying to do is actually build on that culture and build that that way of thinking and that way of behaving and those expectations here, so that the comfort level and the self-esteem and the self-confidence is there when they are employed. Do you want to talk about CPEC?
Sure. All good stuff, please. CPECs are your criminal record checks. Some of you may have already had to supply those to an employer at some point. You do find those you have to present yourself with ID to a policing agency, whichever is in your, whatever detachment or policing agency is within your region that they cover. And it sort of works the opposite. We are looking for a negative CPEC. That means that there's no criminal record, so to speak. There's no criminal charge. Now, if you do happen to have had an experience, a negative experience in your past, and you're not sure if you fit into the framework of what we're doing here, you can ask. You can talk to one of us. You can go back to the emails where you saw you can ask questions. Ask the question. And it's best to be open about that. If you're looking to pursue a career in the protective services area, don't feel like you have to be, stymied by some of your past choices.
That's right.
So it doesn't hurt to ask. Vulnerable sector check along with that criminal record check, because many of you will be working with the vulnerable population. And that gives you clearance that it's safe for our partners to have you working within their agency. Immunizations, there is a list on the website also of basically for communicable diseases, for example, to make sure that you're safe, working in closed custody, for instance, and that the population you're dealing with is also safe. But again, if you have any questions regarding immunizations, you can certainly ask any one of us about that for a detailed discussion about what may apply to you.
Exactly. So for community partnerships and volunteering, you've probably noticed we've mentioned this on numerous occasions now. We're trying to create the culture of volunteerism and altruism. That's part of your practical skills and the development of those skills. How to think on your feet, like Evelyn had mentioned, making a positive contribution to your community in the field. And all of those skills are transferable. Helps build up your resume and portfolio. So why choose NVCC? Well, I told you earlier, we are the place to be, right here.
That's right.
But it's more than that. It's a little more than that. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of that, Evelyn?
Sure. First of all, I'll go back to our great faculty. Faculty come with all kinds of skills from the field in varying locations and breadth of experience. So yes, you're taking psychology, but it's related to corrections or police foundations. And then we can draw upon our own, right? So we can draw upon our own experience to make those theories be relevant to you. So that's what we do really well. If you were to ask me, I would say that your faculty
Yes.
is probably key to that. And what are we preparing you for? What kinds of jobs? Well, the list is long. There's a lot of movement in New Brunswick right now within protective services in terms of development of different departments and different job opportunities. So, Elise, if you want to help me list
Yeah.
some of those,
Yeah.
you know, comes to mind right away: military police,
That's right.
military. I'm thinking policing, like federal, provincial, like OPP. Federal would be your RCMP. Newfoundland constabulary. We have graduates in all of these locations, by the way.
And we can't forget our best partner here in the Miramichi Police Force.
Right.
They're awesome.
Right. And our municipal agencies around the province have
Yes.
all hired our students also.
Definitely.
And there's public safety. Do you want to take that one, Lise?
Yeah. So we have within public safety, we have the New Brunswick Youth Center, we have the Women's Correctional Center. I mentioned Dalhousie Correctional Center, Southeast Correctional Center, and that's just a few. St. John Regional Correctional Center, and those are provincial under public safety. We also have federal agencies under Correctional Services Canada, such as Atlantic Institution, Dorchester, Minimum and Medium. We have Spring Hill Institution, and those are, again, just a few, right? We also have the Justice Department. So we have Sheriff's Services. I believe I even mentioned this, any of the law courts in New Brunswick, the Sheriff's Services, Sheriff's officers, a lot of them are graduates. So those are some. We have group homes. Our corrections and our policing graduates can be employed at group homes, our halfway houses, addiction and recovery agencies, transition homes and houses, YMCA, John Howard Society, the Elizabeth Fry, any agency that works with vulnerable populations, youth or adult.
Yes.
And if they are at risk or in conflict with the law or within that criminal justice environment somewhere, our graduates and our students have those connections and have those employment opportunities. In fact, which leads us to the next one, our employment statistics are very high. We're very proud of the fact that over 90% of our graduates every year are employed within a year of their graduation. Now, with that being said, I would hazard a guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, Evelyn, we would probably say we have at least 80% of our students in the past that have been employed before graduation or have offers of employment.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
our students get hired.
Definitely. And with that comes part of that credibility, that reputation that we have from being around for a while, but it also goes, like Evelyn mentioned earlier, our students, our graduates are now the hiring people. They're the people that are looking, we have an opportunity here. Is there anyone interested? We know that this particular student, the graduate's going to have this training, so they'll fit here, which will then lead to what type of salary expectations. Now, again, because we have in our program such a vast and broad area of employment opportunities, what you're looking at is anywhere between 46,000 and 95,000 within the first year of employment, depending on where you get hired. So just to give a couple of examples, I'm thinking on average, for RCMP, for example, you're looking at, approximately 69,000 to 112,000, depending on the opportunity there. Under Correctional Services Canada, 73 to 79,000 dollars a year. Now, again, these are federal. When we look at provincial, we're still looking at between 65,000 and 70,000 a year when we look at public safety, sheriff services, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think
it's extraordinary, really.
Yeah.
If you think about the investment for a 2-year program and the time, the payoff is great on the other end in terms of getting a job that you love and being paid fairly for that work.
Definitely. Even in municipal agencies, sorry, Evelyn, for policing, 46 to 60,000 starting off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's only going to go up.
It is. It is. And the great thing about this, guys, is that these employment opportunities aren't just local, they are provincial, they are federal. And I mentioned earlier about worldwide. We have had graduates from our programs, international students come from Antigua, Jamaica, Cameroon, Bermuda, United States, India, and that's just a few.
Yeah.
In fact, last year, our valedictorian for 2019 was an international student from Cameroon. And our international students come here, and some come here and make their home here, which is wonderful. And then we have other students, international students, that come and they learn here and they take this learning back to their countries. And they incorporate it into their employment opportunities and change, and it allows them to bring this learning back and incorporate it into their daily lives and daily jobs.
100%.
So what? Okay,
go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I was just going to say, just to piggyback on what you're saying, Lisa, why choose NBCC in our programs is the sense of community within our own groups.
Yeah.
And international students add to that, beyond more than I can say in terms of building relationships that are, last a lifetime. It's not uncommon for us. After 2 years, we'll know you, and you'll know us as instructors and faculty. We'll probably be invited to some of your weddings, and we find out when you have kids. That's the way we build a relationship.
Yes.
So it's more than just, the academics is, of course, important. But beyond that, it's the relationships that are being built amongst our students, amongst your class, but also the larger department for all of us. And we like to feel as instructors that we're part of that community with you.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to give you, I mentioned earlier, some pictures. And this is just some of our in-class, that work integrated learning that Evelyn had talked about. Some pictures of our students and some of the things that they've done and learned. We have crime scenes. We have some students making brew. We have students doing footwear impressions. And again, there's so much more. These are just some of the things. This is
the Pear, right?
Yes.
The famous Pear. It's a physical course that is run by students in a certain length of time, and that little lady in blue that you can see in one of the pictures is our fitness instructor, Shannon Daly, and she will teach you how to run that Pear. Looks easy. It's hard. It's a challenge, but you will succeed because you'll do it incrementally and learn how to do it correctly. What you should know is that physical fitness test is required for just about all jobs within public safety and within law enforcement. Not everyone, but just about all. So it's a really important skill set that you'll learn here, and you'll be able to take it throughout your career. Just a quick note, that picture in the center that you see with the students on the stairs, Shannon coordinates a fitness challenge with our local Miramichi police. So it's sort of students against the police to run the Pear, and whoever has the best times wins. And we also use it as a fundraiser. So money collected goes to Kids and Cops, which is a local Big Brothers Miramichi Police initiative.
We're on the go, and we are on the go all the time. These are some pictures of some of the tours where we've been together, going on a tour to an institution or an agency. We have students that participate in all of our campus activities, whether that's mental health or, you know, recruitment or talking about our programs. We're very fortunate that the students take an active role in everything that we do here. We're really looking forward, and our community and college community looks forward to your contributions. These are, again, just some pictures. We do a service learning day. In fact, you know, we do this every single year, and the students love it. We normally work with Retirement Miramichi, and we help our seniors, whether that's, you know, in raking leaves, moving furniture, or sometimes just visiting, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, and again, we have different, in the parades, we provide security, you know, pumpkin fling is another initiative, Take Back the Night, to bring awareness about violence against women and children. And our students always take part in this. It's very important to be an ally and an advocate for many causes, and domestic violence is, of course, one, right? 12 homeless hours. Another agency, Miramichi Youth House, puts us on every year, and our students participate, and they love it. And it's a fundraising activity again, and you know, they build their shelters and they spend the night
In the cold.
in the cold, because it's usually October, I think, when this particular campaign comes around. And again, graduates, they're employed at youth homes, homeless shelters, and that type of thing. And it really means a lot. We give back. Here's some pictures of our students at Retirement Miramichi helping our seniors. And of course, Evelyn, I'll let you speak to this one if that's okay.
Sure. Remembrance Day, we are invited to march with and sit with Miramichi Police at our local Remembrance Day service. But we are also invited around the province. So if students sometimes want to go to their home community to participate, they're permitted to wear their uniform and march with their local enforcement officers or military personnel. And they represent the college when they're there. We always have a student that will lay a wreath as well in memorial of those in the military. It's a great event, great opportunity to show our respect.
Definitely. Run for the Cure, this is another. We have some students that provided security, and right in the middle there, one of our instructors actually ran in Run for the Cure. It was 5K, and again, you know, the students and the staff and faculty are involved in our community and in our fundraising and our partners as we go through. This is another class activity. Bell Let's Talk Day. We know that mental health and mental health awareness is key, is something that involves and is very close to the criminal justice field and industry, and awareness about mental health issues, and both for potential graduates in the field, and employers and employees, along with when you work with clients. It's very important. So we do focus on mental health and learning about mental illness and how to intervene and de-escalate situations and work with people who are struggling, Speaking out. Our students, as I mentioned before, are allies and advocates, and this is another initiative through the Miramichi Center for Women's Shelter. And this Silent Witness Project. And we have a vigil every year to bring awareness. And we've also participated in Every Child Matters. And I'm sure most of you know now what this initiative is. It's based on, the Indigenous residential school system. And we're very fortunate to have survivors and people that are connected with the Truth and Reconciliation Committees be able to bring knowledge, information, and awareness to us, because it is true. Every child really does matter. Yeah. And that's important. With this?
So Teens Against Drunk Driving was actually an initiative that was started by a student who is, now gone on, and she's just started her master's program actually when she left us, and progressed on with her education. It stemmed from trying to create an awareness assignment. She became familiar with a local woman who had suffered serious injuries as a result of being hit by a drunk driver. Brought her into one of our classes to do a guest speaking engagement. And from that, students were really motivated at that time to do something to combat this issue, this problem. And that's how TAD really got started on Miramichi campus. We are the only post-secondary TAD organization. I think because they didn't know what else to call us. So that's why we're Teens Against Drunk Driving, even though we're all adults. And we are in partnership with MAD, Miramichi, actually. We have a liaison with Miramichi Police Force. So our mandate is to do community awareness. And part of that is doing road checks with the police, handing out information about drinking and driving or drug-related driving. We also do awareness if there's booths we can set up, if there's, a home show somewhere, anywhere that we can create awareness. So this is a big initiative for our students.
Definitely. Trunk or treat. So I mentioned security. This is another local, our local community puts on a trunk and treat every year for Halloween and or around Halloween, and our students provide security and that type of thing. They also do our hockey games at rinks both within the city and outlying areas. Parade of lights. That's a big one for our students in policing. They provide security, traffic control, parking. Help me out there, Evelyn. There's so many things that they do.
There's crowd and when you have thousands of people literally participating in an event, it's not possible to have enough police presence. And this is true not only, for, let's say, a parade that is outdoors with a lot of people. I'm thinking hockey security. Yes. They just don't have the resources to hire people all the time. So our students will assist to make a safe environment. Anything that involves, kids or the community and keeping people safe, our students are often asked to do that kind of work, which is a great transferable skill, right? You can talk about that during a job interview. You can write that on a resume.
Definitely. Here's another: funding the future, supporting our own. This was a great initiative also, Evelyn.
Yeah, it happened. Unfortunately, you may be aware in the news of 4 persons that were killed by an active shooter in Fredericton a couple of years ago. 2 were police officers, 2 were civilian. So it was a partnership with police foundations and our carpentry students and electrical. They actually, see in the picture, built a shed and donated it. And our police foundation students sold tickets and raised several $1,000s for the children of the fallen officers. There were several left behind, and we donated that money. And we did that in cooperation with 911 Ride Atlantic as well. So there's lots of partners involved with that initiative.
You can see there that some of our corrections students participating in haunted house for the community, the Miramichi community, the children in the community. They love that. Both of the programs participate in clothing drives, and these are just some of the initiatives that actually take place. There's so many, we can't even count them all. So what we want you to know now: apply now. Our seats will fill fast. And I believe they start looking, the date that they start looking and opening applications is in November. So please make sure you apply as soon as you can. If you have questions, you can book a one-on-one with one of our recruitment advisors. You can book a meeting with an instructor. Evelyn is very, very approachable, and she'll do her best to answer all of your questions. And if not, she'll get a hold of one of us, and you have all of our emails from earlier. So apply now. I put up we have that website, so you can go right there. Our faculty and staff are here for you. We want you to enjoy the full experience of college and know you have found a home with us. We look forward to seeing you in our classes because we know college works. Apply now.
Yes. We look forward to seeing you.
We do. Thank you so much.